In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up keyword campaigns and use the advanced SMS features that are found in all these campaign types right here. To create a keyword campaign, click on the Keywords tab, click on Create New Campaign. Now, when you're creating a new campaign, if you already have some that are existing and you want to copy the exact format that you've set up in there, just click on Copy Campaign and then choose a campaign. But I'm creating a new campaign, so I'm going to choose a title. Then my keyword I'm going to enter, which is the keyword the customers will text in to subscribe. Click on Save. The screen will refresh and automatically open that tab to be edited. Alright, first thing we want to do is step 1, describe our campaign messages, and step 2. These two are required for a valid SMS campaign. So I'm going to click on the plus, and I'm going to put in the campaign title. If you have any tracking number or any information you want to put in here or notes, you can do so here. This is our keyword that we're using for the long codes. And then we can also have the option, if we're using a short code for this campaign, we can choose our short code keyword and assign it to the campaign. So the users can subscribe via the long code phone number by texting in demo, or the short code 69696 by texting in boomer. Next, we want to choose how many messages per month per compliance guidelines in our country that we want to allow to be sent to the user per month. This is required to be entered and for the subscriber to be notified of what's going to happen once they subscribe. So I'm going to leave this as 6. You can set this to 8, 10, 12. It does not matter. Next is our delay between each SMS. If we have flows in our campaign which involve reply with name, reply with email, what this will do, we'll still have a delay in every SMS that goes out. So if this person texted in demo and I had this set for 10 seconds, they wouldn't get a reply back from the system that they've subscribed for about 10 seconds. But I'm going to leave my delay at 0 seconds here. Next is our convert to shortcode. If we already have a subscriber and we want to convert them over into a shortcode campaign, just select on this icon here and they'll automatically be subscribed into the shortcode and get the shortcode yes message. I'm going to leave that unchecked. Put in my campaign message. This is a message you want to convey as some sort of deal and also tell the customer that they've been subscribed in the system. Now we can put in these merge tags, which will automatically populate any data that is collected from the system into the message itself. Generally, on the campaign message and if message, you want to use usually the date, which is the expiration date of a coupon. So we put the expiration date, and we also have the option to do the if member message. It can be the same as the campaign message, but generally this is used for you are already a member, thanks for being a valued customer. And it's up to you if you want to add another coupon if they text in that keyword again in case they forgot the first time. So next we want to add our off-free days. This is for the coupon. So after they've texted in, we want to send them a coupon on the subscription campaign message, and we want that to expire in 5 days. So they must come into the store, present this present this campaign message to an agent so they can redeem their coupon. Once we're done making these settings, click on Save. And next we want to choose a phone number that is attached to this campaign. Now, even if we're using shortcode, we have to have a long code attached to the campaign as well. Click on Update and click on Save. And when everything is completed and ready to go, you're always going to get a check mark and a completed message here next to the check mark. We have several options here. Step 3, we can determine if we want to run a perpetual campaign. And what this does, this automatically changes the campaign and if messages during certain times. So like during the holidays, if we want to change our campaign message to be something different, we can set the perpetual SMS campaign message to be different than our campaign message. So only between these dates will this campaign message be changed. And we can enter different offer. And you can use the same merge tags that are found in the campaign message. If you want to have a custom if message during this time period too, we can do so as well. When we're done, click on save. And now we see our statuses. We see our start date, campaign SMS. The status is if member, status is checked. We can edit here, we can delete here. When we're happy, just click on save. And now we've set up our perpetual SMS campaign. Our next option is to double opt-in subscribers. If we want to make sure when they subscribe that they're opted in and it's voluntary, they can do a reply with keyword. We can do reply with, and then grab our merge tag. If you agree to, oh, my bad, having trouble copying this. Messages per month. Could be anything you want it to be, but that's generally what I'm going to use, something similar to that. So that's the reply with keyword. What's going to happen is they're going to text the keyword. They're going to get this message first, reply with the keyword, that's here, it automatically populates it, and then after they reply with the keyword, they're going to get the campaign message in step 1. And this functionality is exactly the same with reply with email. We could say before they get the campaign message, what is your email? Thanks for your email. And we have all of these merge tags at our disposal to use inside of the message. It'll automatically populate inside. We can collect both the email and name, and the name works the same. You ask what is your name, and the name updated message, thank you for your name, we'd like to welcome you aboard. And then the next message after this would be the campaign message. Now, as far as order, if you have both of these selected, it's going to always ask for the name first and then the email. And we can determine, because it's automatic, based on what I just told you, all this to occur before the campaign message. If you want to have it after, you have to indicate it to in this option. Next, before we declare this person as a subscriber in our system, if they haven't completed the actual flows, either reply with keyword, reply with email, reply with name, before the campaign message, we can determine them as not a subscriber. So we can give them a time period to reply to these SMSs that they receive before they're actually subscribed. If they're not subscribed in this time frame, they're marked as unsubscribed. Next, our option is block user that doesn't complete the flow, the status. In this case, I want to make them active even if they don't complete this because I want to have them added to my list. But you have the option, just for compliance reasons, if you don't feel that they're double opted in, that you want them as you want them to be, you can choose block, and then it'll automatically not add them to the list. So you have those options available. Next is custom emails. Once we collect the email, we can send them an email from the system. This could be a coupon or anything you want it to be. It's a full what you see is what you get editor. You can add images and all that good stuff inside of the body. If you want to subscribe them into an autoresponder list on reception of that email that we have here, we can select the service that we're using and plug in in this case, the AWeber code, subscription code into this box. And once that person subscribes, completes the form flow into the campaign, they'll automatically be added into AWeber and into this system as a subscriber for SMS. When you're happy with your settings, click on Save. Next, we can have a new subscription notification every time a subscriber comes through the system. We can notify a certain person. It could be a salesman, it could be an agent of our company, that we have a new subscriber, and that way that agent could immediately follow up with that customer. If we want to send an SMS to a salesman in this instance, we just put in the salesman's phone number, and then we put the message. The message is going to be information about the lead. So we just grab all this stuff and just put it in there and automatically propagate all the information about that subscriber to the salesman. We can also send it via email. We enter the email of the person, who it's from. We could be leads@woottext.com or wherever our system is hosted. Our email subject, hey, you have a new lead, and then we can enter our message. In this case, I'm just going to paste all this in. But they all work the same on how you set these up. And you can actually have all these go out simultaneously too by just simply checking all of these. So make sure all the data is completed in the boxes before you hit the save button. Otherwise, the flow might actually fail in the notification. We also can send a notification via RoboVoice, and what will happen is if we enter our phone number of our person to be notified and we put in the text, we want to make sure we kind of spell it out because this is not very descriptive for RoboVoice to read. So we can say a person with the phone number and the name of, and it'll automatically fill in those data, that it'll automatically read that data to the person that it calls. In this case, it'll be the salesman at this phone number. Once we're happy how we have this set up, I'm just going to put in, so it just gives the name of the person. Click on save, and now we've set up our new subscriber notifications. Next is our campaign option split test. If we want to split test the response rate between two campaign messages, we can do so. And this allows us to tell how each campaign wording is performing based on who's coming to the store to claim a coupon and what have you. So I'm going to click on yes. If we do our split test message, now what's going to happen is when a subscriber subscribes, subscriber 1 is going to get this message that's in step 1. Subscriber 2 is going to get this message, and let's keep going back and forth. And you can determine, based on the response rate of those coupons, which one is performing better. When you're happy, just click on save. Next, we have the advanced campaign options. We're only going to get into this inside of the keyword campaign, but the functionality in all these other campaigns is the same, so always refer to the keyword campaign on training on the advanced options. So we would like to start an autoresponder campaign. Once they subscribe, we can send automatic SMSs after a certain amount of time. So if I select this to yes, click on save, it's automatically going to refresh the autoresponders down here. So I'm going to click on the plus button, and I'm going to title this and we want to send a message after 6 days to that subscriber after they've joined. So I'm going to do it on a set date, and we can determine it's going to be a Monday or the first Wednesday after they've joined at 12 p.m. I'm going to say 11:45. The other option is we can do it once, send at, we enter our days after join, and then at what time. 9:30 p.m. And then we have the option here where we can use the date command for an expiry. And we add our offer days. So what that's going to happen is when that user receives an autoresponder 6 days later after subscription, it's going to say claim your free dinner, and it expires 5 days later after they've received this SMS. So I'm going to click on save, and now we've set up our autoresponder. Other options, advanced campaign option, is to forward a user into another campaign. If I click on yes here, I want to send this user to, after they've subscribed into this campaign, into another campaign. So I'm going to choose a list I want to flow them into, and it'll automatically start that new campaign with the campaign message and all that stuff. It's almost like they subscribed to a different keyword. We want to keep them on the current list. If we're segregating, no we don't, but if we want to keep them on both lists for notification purposes, we can determine stay on list or remove from list. I'm going to keep them on my list. We have the option to forward the user before the autoresponders fire or after the autoresponders fire. So I'm going to do this after the last autoresponder is sent. So after that last autoresponder goes, if I had 10 in here, after that 10th one fired, it automatically be sent to my new list. And I click on save, and now I've added this campaign forwarder for this particular campaign. Let me come back here. Let me click on my demo. We have campaign triggers. Anytime a subscriber comes into the system, we can push and activate that user into another API somewhere else. To do that, all we do is enter the URL of the other place that is going to collect the data. And what's going to happen is this system, we got to determine our method. In most cases, it's going to be post. This system is going to send the to, the from, and the body of the SMS. And the URL string, for those advanced users that know how to use it, the to is going to look like that, the from is going to look like that, and the body is going to look like that. And our system will automatically put in that information of the user here. So we're going to have the phone number of the user, the phone number of the system, excuse me, this is the number of the system, this is the number of the user, and then the keyword that they entered here. So if I do the body is going to look something like this in the URL string. It's usually going to be the keyword right here. And now that's going to ping that data over into the other system, and you can do whatever you want and trigger any event to happen on that other system once that subscriber is pushed to your system. So that's how to use campaign triggers. Next is a campaign QR code. You can put this in your advertising. If they're subscribing via long code, you can just copy this and then paste it into any document. And then if they're subscribing via short code, they're going to use this QR code right here. Next, we have our logical campaigns. And what this does allows us to segregate our list based on a SMS that we send. And let me set an example here. Let's say it's getting close to Christmas time. It's like 3 weeks before. And we want to determine who's interested in Christmas and who isn't. So what we can do is come in here and set our response keyword. Let's say if we ask the customer to reply Christmas, if they want to get Christmas notifications, we can just put in Christmas as our response keyword. And then once they text that in, we can start a new campaign. This is where we're going to flow those users into a separate marketing list. In this case, we're going to make this as our Christmas list, for example, which is a totally separate campaign. And we have the option here if we want to keep them on our original list, which is my demo. In this case, I do because I have just regular promotions that I do. Then I have Christmas promotions, so I want to keep them on this list. Lastly, if we want to subscribe to the short code, we can do so by just clicking on that check mark right there. And then what happens is we have to actually assign a short code keyword for this to work. So we're going to do USA, and what's going to happen is if they text in Christmas, you don't have to buy the keyword Christmas. The system is already going to wait and listen for this keyword to flow that user in the other campaign. So if they reply Christmas to 69696, it's automatically going to be flowed into that account, or excuse me, that campaign that you set up as the start campaign segregation account. Once we're happy, just click on save. And now we've added our logical campaign SMS. It has our keyword for the logical, the campaign that it flows into. We're keeping it on the current list. We're subscribing to the short code. The short code is in the United States with the keyword Christmas. And we can track our conversions. So if our list was 2 on our My Demo, and one of them finally comes over into our Christmas list, it'll say 1 of 2 conversions based on our mass send SMS where we told the customer to text in Christmas. If you ever want to edit, just click on edit. If you want to delete, just click on delete. Next is the training on My List. My List is a window inside of your campaign here. And it works just like the list that you've seen under My Subscriber List. It'll have all the phone numbers in your list. Jump down here. So I went back and I picked the actual list that had subscribers in it. But in the My List window, it looks just like the My SMS list that's found at the very top. It shows your name, number, the email, the source number, join, the status, and the action. We can write notes about the particular subscriber. We can edit the subscriber. We can also send a message to the subscriber, a one-off message, only to one. We can also delete. If we ever want to have all of these subscribers deleted, we just click on delete all. And we put in our password for our login, and it'll delete all the subscribers. This is a protection measure so you don't totally wipe out your list. If you ever want to search for a number, just grab an alphanumeric character set, enter it in there, click on search, and it'll find that user for you. You do have the options to import and export users into your system. To get an import, you want to grab a CSV example, open that up, and let me see if I can bring this open here. And here's our example. We want to make sure when we're doing imports, you want to grab this sample because all the data inside of our import needs to look exactly the same. If you're using a program like Excel, it's automatically going to try to format this data to its own date format feel, and that however it's set inside Excel. But you want to make sure when you're importing into this system that it looks exactly like this. And if your Excel program changes this data, you got to make sure you change it back. But everything needs to look exactly the same when doing an import. Don't go off and do your own thing. Don't try to import a Excel file. It has to be a CSV, comma separated values, and have the header and all the data about the people that you are subscribing into the system. To get an export of your current subscribers, just click on export and you'll be able to download it into your browser and open it from your folder inside your computer. Next are my campaign statistics. This first tab here, stats, shows you how many total subscribers you have, how many are active, and how many have texted in stop or haven't completed a flow inside of the system. And then we can determine our average over the last 70 days. It gives a percentage, and it gives the created date of our campaign. It also shows, based on a start date and end date, it'll show the progression of SMS users throughout a date span that we entered here. And we'll be able to see it in a bar chart. If we're doing better or doing worse by the day, just hover over it and you'll get details of how many subscribers occurred on any given day inside of this graph. We can also break this down into a pie chart. Select the between dates, and then it'll pie chart it out as well. Since I don't have that many subscribers in this list, just showing them all 100%, but each day they'll be separated by a different color. You better hover and see which days have performed and how many subscribers were received on each one of those days. For more in-depth training, always refer to this tutorial that is found inside of the tutorial pane or the tutorial window inside of the campaign. You'll find the functionality of each one of these very similar as far as how they work. So in contest, trivia, viral, loyalty, and prospector, a lot of this functionality is exactly the same. So when we get into training for contest, trivia, viral, we're not going to get into how to exactly make a subscriber notification, how to double opt-in subscribers, because we've already trained it here. Just make sure that you fully understand it here before you progress into the other campaign types. And lastly, if you ever want to have campaign notes about this campaign, enter the notes in, click on save, and that'll be reserved next time you come in here. Those notes will be there. And now you can also print those notes, and if you want, email them to somebody inside of your company. So this concludes the training on using and creating a keyword campaign inside the SMS Gateway, and using the advanced features and the standard features that are found in most other campaign types inside of the system.